G'day guys, Pete Moriarty here, and I'm excited to be sharing with you in the series of upcoming videos our Gmail Masterclass. I'm going to be sharing all of my best tips and secrets for Gmail. There's a lot of stuff to get through, and I'm really excited to be here. So today I'm taking you through my ultimate Gmail Masterclass. And if you don't know about us, itGenius are about helping small and medium-sized business owners with their technology. We believe that great technology strategy creates great businesses. And we've grown and scaled a successful business. We've got a global team, and we have used this technology that we share with business owners to grow and scale our business. And whatever stage of business you're at, you're probably going to fit somewhere on our growth roadmap. And that is the different technology tools that we know you need to have in place to be successful at different stages of business. Now, if you haven't already been to our YouTube channel and checked out all the different videos on the different stages of business, we even have playlists so you can just jump in based on what stage of business you're at right now and learn relevant content. But the whole point of us having this technology roadmap is so that you know what steps you need to take for you to be successful based on where you're at right now. And if there's anything you've missed in the earlier stages of business, you can go and fill those things in. And as you grow and scale, you know what to turn to next. And this is all about making sure that you don't invest in the wrong areas of business and that the effort that you're putting in to your technology strategy is going to be rewarded. Now, we work primarily with Google Workspace, and we've helped literally thousands of businesses migrate to the Google Cloud ecosystem and get the most out of the platform. And Google's made some pretty awesome changes to this platform in the last year. One of the biggest ones has been the mobile apps and the integration of Gmail, not just being Gmail, but now being integrated with their chat, with obviously Rooms, which is part of the Google Chat, and Google Meet now being all in the one app in one place. Now, what that allows us to do is really use the Gmail app for absolutely everything. Now, personally, I'm not a super big fan of being in my email all day. I don't really like having a relationship where I'm chained to my email. So I'm still a little bit in kind of like two minds about whether I want to be using this application as my everyday app. I still only check it sometimes, and I still have things like the chat app and the Meet app installed on my phone separately, so I can use those as individual apps. But I think I'm probably eventually going to be forced to use the Gmail app for absolutely everything. So while we are using the Gmail app, well, we may as well get the most out of it. And so the first thing I'd like to share with you is what are the best Gmail settings for you to save time. And these are mostly going to be on the web because there's not heaps of settings on the mobile device that I'm going to share with you in this session. But these are really my best settings for doing everything. I'm going to jump right into my Gmail here. This is my live Gmail, and we like to demo on live systems. And I'm going to show you some of my favorite settings hacks to get your Gmail set up correctly. So first up, when you click the settings wheel in the top right hand corner here, and let me zoom in so you guys can actually see. First up, I want to switch it to compact mode. I do like to choose a background picture, and you'll see here I also choose the multiple inboxes of inbox type. Now I'm going to come back to that one later, but I also leave the reading pane off, and that one is very deliberate. Now, for many people who've transitioned from MacMail or from Outlook, they leave the reading pane switched on, and so if you click on an email, you have like a right-hand side reading area where you can read the email. And I'm not a fan of that because I find what that does is it helps trigger, like, you know, the dopamine and the cortisol response of reading through emails, getting a little hit from the email, and then going off to the next email. When I work through and triage my emails, and we cover more of this in our 7 Steps to Inbox Zero course, which is a free course available for our customers who transfer in, what we teach is that each time you open an email, you should only be touching it once. You should open that email, deal with it, and then move on to the next email in a triage system. And that's basically what we teach in our email management course. Now, the problem with having that preview pane switched on is it makes it a little bit easier to kind of see what's in the email, and you might be tempted to then go to the next one and go to the next one and go to the next one. What many people do when they sit down at their desk for the day, at the start of the day, is they read through all their emails and just kind of breeze through everything, which is the absolute worst way for you to do email. So we'll come back to that one a little bit later, but for now, just know that we're going to go with compact view. That's my favorite one, so I can see more. It's going to make my job easier, but then we're going to go into all settings here, and I'm going to share with you a few of my other favorite settings. So some of the ones that I like are this one here, send and archive. I basically like to use this as my default because as I'm working through my inbox, when I'm actually working through emails one by one, I want to not just send a reply to an email. Let's say I'm going to reply to this Asana email. I'm going to send off a reply here. I don't want to just send that email and then have to do the second step of clicking the archive button. When I enable that option, I can send an archive in one hit, and it's going to send the email and then remove it out of my inbox. Now I'm going to hit undo on that because I don't want to send a random email off to someone, but that's one of my favorite features in there is first up, enabling send and archive. You'll see here, if you have a look down here, there's a few other settings that I like to switch on. Dynamic email should be switched on. What that is like if someone sends you a ticket from Zendesk or someone sends you a Google form, it allows you to actually interact with content inside the actual email without actually leaving the email, which is pretty damn groovy. Grammar and spelling, that's pretty obvious. But auto advance is one of my favorite features. Now I've got a feeling we've got to switch this on in the advanced setting first. Yes, you do. So first you've got to go to advanced settings, switch it on, and then you can come back. But what auto advance will allow you to do is move from the email you're working on. After you've sent and archived, it'll take you to the next newer email. Now this is another important feature for when you're triaging your emails, is to, once you've dealt with something, go to the next newer email. That one is send and archive. Okay, cool. What else have we got? Always display images. I would probably leave that one on. Grammar and spelling, we already covered those. Autocorrect, blah, 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 blah. Writing suggestions and Smart Compose. These are two very cool tools. And what they do is effectively allow Google to suggest automatically AI and machine learning based replies to emails. Now, if these are not switched on right now for your account, you may need to enable them in the admin panel inside of Google Workspace in the admin area. But to actually get those switched on, it's just then a matter of going to the individual settings on your Gmail and switching those on. And what they will let you do is they'll literally start typing emails for you, and we'll have a screenshot come up from our team on that, and they will allow you to move even faster in working through your emails. Okay, so let's go back to some of the more smarter settings that are sitting here. Nudges, I really love. What this does is it basically, after you've sent an email, if you haven't got a response from that email in a couple of days, it'll actually give you a little nudge. It'll pop up a little option and say, hey, you sent this email 3 days ago. Is this something that you want to reply to or follow up on? It'll basically use AI and machine learning to kind of learn who you may have emailed and not yet got a response from. But there's a couple of things that are important here to actually turn off, and I want to tell you which ones to actually switch off. So there is something here called indicators, and there's something here called snippets. Now, what snippets are, and this is the standard way that Gmail comes out of the box, is snippets show you the first couple of words of an email. I'm going to turn it back on here. You can see inside my inbox, I can see the subject of the email, and then I can see the first few words. And you can see there it looks pretty damn busy, right? And that's the big problem with snippets. Now, when I go back to switching snippets off again, let's do that. Once it's switched off, I can only see the subject of the email, and I no longer see what's inside the email. And this comes down to good email management. It's basically making sure that you're not distracted by what's inside an email, which is going to get you all excited and you're going to want to jump in there and deal with it. But you're going to be breaking the principles of good inbox management, which is managing emails from the oldest to the newest, and then only working through emails one by one, instead of going in and out of different emails, which is what most people spend most of their days doing. Now, you will have noticed here in my inbox that there are 11 emails sitting in my inbox. They are all of the emails I have in my inbox right now. And for most people, I'd be interested, for those of you that are on the live or for those that are watching the replay in YouTube, let me know, how many emails do you have in your inbox right now? Drop it down in the comments. How many emails are in your inbox right now? And if you're interested in getting it down to only having 11 in there on any one day, then you might be interested in our course, and you can chat to our team about getting access to that on our inbox domination course. It's absolutely free. You just need to make sure that your billing is with itGenius to get access to that. Okay, now finally, the last one for you to make sure that you've got enabled inside your account is keyboard shortcuts. So again, this is in the general settings, and you can see it was a little bit up further up if you had a keen eye. Where are our keyboard shortcuts? Would help if I could actually find them. There we go. Keyboard shortcuts switched on. Now we have another video on our YouTube channel. We will link that below, that has all of our keyboard shortcuts, our favorite keyboard shortcuts for Gmail, which will tell you exactly how you can access those and use each one of them. But what happens sometimes is people are like hardcore filers, right? They just want to file everything. And that's a nice little segue into talking about search. Because if right now you're a filer, then we can show you some pretty cool things to do with your search inside of Gmail, which will remove the need for you to worry about filing emails into what were called folders in Macmail or Outlook, and in Gmail they're called labels. So let's have a look at how search works inside of Gmail, and I'll show you guys some basics. Now, you would know that when you first started using Google, and I mean the web search Google, you had to kind of learn how to drive it, right? And so when you search for a couple of words, it will, pretty much find what you're looking for just kind of naturally. But if you're having trouble finding something in Google, some people will put quotation marks around a certain phrase. And that means that all of those words in that sequence will be searched for, rather than just, all of the words anywhere on the page. And little tricks like that for Google can help you to refine your search, which will allow you to more easily find what you're looking for. Well, the Gmail search is pretty much the same in that there are a few little tricks that you can learn when you are searching, which will allow you to be much more efficient with your searches. So I'm going to go ahead and open up my search bar here. Let me zoom right in here so you guys can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to start running some searches. So the easiest thing for you to do is to actually start with someone's name. So I'm going to hit Dale's name, my good friend Dale Beaumont here, and hit return, and that's going to bring up basically all emails between myself and Dale. Now, that's going to go back years and years and years and years, and there's literally going to be hundreds or possibly even thousands of emails in there between me and that person. Now, that's not really useful, right? Because we maybe want to drill that down a little bit. And so let's say, for example, I remember that the email that I'm looking for is about a conference, right? So I'll just put in a keyword, right? So I'm going to put in conference, right? And that's going to bring up all emails between myself and Dale with the keyword conference, right? Okay, so there's 31 emails there. Well, yeah, that's not too bad. That's kind of drilled it down a bit, but I've still got emails going back to like 2013, and I've got one as recently as April. So I don't want to go through 30 emails. So let's chuck another word in. I'm going to put in the word Cebu. Whoopsie, would help if I could actually spell it there. There we go. And so I've put the word Cebu in, and then it's brought it down to, wow, look at that. Just 5 emails. Now, this is searching literally hundreds and hundreds of thousands of emails in my email mailbox. I have 500,000 emails in my Gmail. You can see here 488,000 emails inside my Gmail. And so it's an absolute obscene number of emails that are sitting in there that Google is searching through. But the power of Google search is because it's all being done by Google's supercomputers and all of the indexing is happening in the background, it means that it's all going to happen instantly. And one of the things that I love about search is just how far back I can go. So if I want to search for example, I'll say date 2011, it's going to show me instantly all emails going all the way back to 2011. And you can see here, there's not many emails there, but it's brought them all up instantly, which is pretty cool. And so immediately it's allowing me to basically search through absolutely anything that I need to in my Google account.